The frost beneath the beauty. In the vast, frost-bitten expanse of Russia, where Siberian winds whisper secrets through birch forests and the silhouettes of orthodox domes pierce the twilight sky, there exists a paradox, of strength wrapped in fragility, of beauty veiling suffering, and of silence screaming beneath layers of tradition. This is the story of Russian women. Not the story sung in ballets or painted in oil on gilded frames, but the one scribbled in court records, bruised bodies, and dreams deferred. It is the hidden side, the one that begins not with fairy tales, but with frostbite, law books, and the ancient rhythm of a society that reveres the feminine, yet often refuses to set her free. Let us enter the world not seen on postcards. Let us walk the icy path that many Russian women tread, gracefully, yet with chains around their ankles. When the law looks away, the legalization of suffering. In January 2017, a tremor shook Russia, not one of seismic magnitude, but of societal collapse. The Duma, Russia's federal legislature, passed a bill that decriminalized domestic violence for first-time offenses. As long as the victim did not suffer broken bones or require hospitalization, a beating was now a civil offense, not a crime. The punishment? A modest fine, roughly equivalent to $500 or less, or perhaps a short jail term. But in most cases, the state merely looked the other way. For millions of women, this was not just legal reform, it was betrayal. He punched me in the face, again and again, said Alina, a 32-year-old from Samara, and when I reported it, the officer asked me if I had made dinner late. The ripple effect was immediate and cruel. Shelters began reporting increased calls. Advocacy groups were swamped. But few could help. With government support nearly non-existent, these organizations operated like underground resistance cells, battling a war that most of the nation refused to acknowledge. Forbidden by strength, the job she cannot hold. In Soviet times, the image of the working woman was iconic, Rosie the Riveter's Russian cousin, fierce and industrious. But even in 21st century Russia, hundreds of professions remain forbidden to women. Until 2021, the number stood at 476 banned jobs, a list as archaic as it was insulting. Women could not be subway drivers, ship captains, or metal welders. The rationale? Such jobs were deemed too dangerous or harmful to a woman's reproductive health. Maria, a brilliant engineering graduate from St. Petersburg, was denied a position she was qualified for at a shipyard. They said I might damage my womb, she recalls. As if my worth exists only in what it might produce. This is the lingering echo of a patriarchal code, the belief that women are not beings of ambition or skill, but vessels of future life, to be protected not for their own sake, but for the state's demographic goals. Beauty as duty, the social tax on appearance. In Russia, beauty is not merely admired, it is often expected. A woman without makeup on the subway is whispered about. Heels in the snow are not a contradiction, but a norm. In the workplace, especially in fields like banking, hospitality, or television, failure to meet appearance standards can quietly end a career. This unwritten code begins early. Girls are praised for being pretty, told that value lies in symmetry of face, in elegance of form. And as they grow older, the pressure tightens like a corset stitched by generations. Anya, a teacher in Moscow, shared, "When I went to school without lipstick one day, my colleague asked if I was ill." This beauty culture, while seemingly superficial, is deeply systemic. It erodes self-worth, making a woman's confidence contingent upon mirrors and mascara, rather than merit. The domestic ideal, a patriarchal dream. Many Russian women grow up with a dual message: achieve high education, but always remember that your ultimate role is that of wife and mother. While women dominate higher education statistics in Russia, it rarely translates to power. The glass ceiling is not just institutional, it is cultural. Men are expected to lead. Women, to support. To cook, to raise, to endure. "I have 2 degrees, said Svetlana, a 38-year-old mother of 3 in Ekaterinburg, but my husband tells our friends that I'm just a mom, with pride, as if that's all I should be. Divorce rates are high in Russia, and yet, many women stay in toxic relationships out of economic dependence or fear of social judgment. Single mothers are often stigmatized, especially in smaller towns, where conservative norms reign. The price of escape, trafficked and traded. The term Russian bride has become so normalized in Western culture that its horrors often go ignored. But beneath the romance of international matchmaking lies a brutal economy of desperation. Many women, lured by the promise of a better life abroad, fall victim to trafficking rings disguised as dating services. Some end up in exploitative marriages, others are sold into sex work. The line between consent and coercion blurs under economic pressure. According to the UN, Russia is both a source and transit country for human trafficking. Women from impoverished regions like Buryatia, Dagestan, or the Far East are especially vulnerable. Yelena, now living in Germany under witness protection, escaped a trafficking syndicate that shipped girls from Novosibirsk to Dubai. "We weren't wives. We were inventory," she said. Her voice still trembled. When no means silence, the culture of shame. Rape is notoriously underreported in Russia. Victims face intense stigma, disbelief from authorities, and a legal system that often protects the perpetrator. Police may ask what the woman wore. Judges question why she drank. Survivors are encouraged to remain silent, lest they bring shame upon their families. "Justice here is like snow in April," one activist said. "You hope for it, but it always melts away." The ones who fight, quiet resistance in a loud world. Yet, even amid this darkness, there are voices rising. Brave lawyers, underground shelters, feminist bloggers, and whistleblowers. Women who write, who march, who speak. In St. Petersburg, a group of young women created an anonymous hotline that connects abuse survivors with safe houses. In Moscow, artists paint murals, abstract, defiant, coded messages of strength. In Tatarstan, grandmothers gather to teach young girls self-defense. Change in Russia, as always, is slow. But it begins with stories. With the act of telling. With refusing to be erased. The unseen tundra. Russia is a land of astonishing contradiction, cathedrals of splendor next to crumbling hospitals, ballet and brutality, vodka toasts and silent tears. And its women. They are steel under silk, flame under frost. But until laws protect them, until beauty is optional, until a woman's body is no longer a battleground for politics and power, Russia's soul remains divided. Let us not romanticize the frost. Let us listen for the cracks beneath it.